Hey there, friends. Nibs again. Out here in the garage, a little bit of goofing around tonight, and I really wanted to. I thought about going out to the range today, but it is actually quite windy out, so I thought I'd just keep it home and do a little bit of work, a little bit of tinkering indoors, and but I thought I would do a initial assessment, I guess you could call it, of this new Umarex Notos that I just unboxed for you guys the other day, and this is actually a very cool gun. Um, I've been looking at these, been watching these for a few months now, and just couldn't decide whether I really wanted this or the Hatsan Jet 2. I may still end up getting one of those as well, but I decided to get this one first, and I am not disappointed at all. I've been playing around with it for a little while now. See some of the specs on this thing. It's got a 3650 fill on it. One kind of gripe I don't like, and it's just personal preference, but this one uses a fill probe instead of having a Foster fitting built onto it somewhere. I would much rather have that built in, but it does come with the fill probe with the Foster fitting ready to go, so I guess there is that. But so there is the fill probe. It is interesting that this is an Umarex. You know, why can't Umarex make one fill probe that fits all of their guns? But that's just another kind of gripe I have. So really only one other thing that kind of irks me a little bit, but that's just pet peeve. It does have a silencer right off the bat built into it, but it's permanently attached to the gun. I did tinker around with it a little bit to see if there was a way to remove it without destroying anything, and I don't think so. It looks like it's pinned underneath here, and you would at least gouge it up trying to get that pin out of there. So at least for now, I am going to leave it alone, but I really would like to, you know, have the option to take that off, and if it's threaded, be able to put a buck rail or a Donnie FL or some other sort of suppressor on there. But other than that, I really don't have any kind of gripes with it. So we're going to throw some pellets across the chronograph here to start off with and do a couple of trigger pulls with it. But I did want to share something with you that I found very interesting. So this is the only reason I was looking at this is because this gun only came with one magazine from the factory. So this is the Umarex magazine. And I already have a Diana Chaser, which the Diana Chaser I have came with 3 magazines. So I got to looking at them, and they're very, very similar, but there is a small minor difference, and it does require a modification to the Diana magazine to make them fit. Once I did the modification, they still fit in both guns. Now the Umarex magazine will fit into the Chaser without any modification at all, but the Diana magazine, there's actually, let me grab one of the unmodified ones still. So there is a little, can you see that, this little raised section at the bottom here, that there's not a groove for that in the Notos, but there's a little tiny stop pin back here. What you want to do is file off that little raised groove area, but you don't want to eliminate that stop. That stop is what slides into the gun and actually stops it at the right place for the pellet probe to push the pellet out of the. Now both of these guns are actually locked in place by the magnet on the magazine, so it actually works just fine So now I'll show you. So this is the chaser magazine. Slides right in. Of course. And then pull that out. Umarex magazine in. Boom, no problem. So that is kind of neat. Some people might be cringing me taking a file to the magazine, but I tested them both in both the chaser and the Notos afterwards, and they work just fine, and they stay right in place. So no harm done. So let's go ahead. I'm going to. So this is not the one I want. I want the Umarex. So I'm going to refill the Umarex magazine. Oop. Top it off with Crossman Premier hollow points, and we will. So this is one of the ones you gotta either drop it in from the. Topping these off are a pain, but there we go. All right, because I'm gonna do a 7-shot, because these are a regulated gun, so I want to see how precise this regulator is. I did pump I filled this up with my air tank for the first. I've shot probably 2 fills full through this gun already, just playing around with it. But the first time I filled it up with my air tank, no problem. And then the second time I actually filled it up with my hand pump, and I actually drew it all the way down to 0. I literally took the tank off it. There was no air left in that thing at all. And from 0 up to 3650 took me exactly 100 strokes with the Vivor hand pump. So that is not bad at all. I had my heart going pretty good. I was huffing and puffing a little bit, but it's good for the old heart. So let's go ahead and get our Caldwell amp up here. Hold on a second. Get our screen capture going first, and we'll get our Caldwell app up here. Okay, there it captured the. So start a new group. We'll give it a description. Notos. And let's throw in our bullet weight, 14.3. That way we'll get the foot-pounds of energy too. So then we can just do start, and hopefully we capture all of these shots. So I'm really liking this Bluetooth connectivity, or yeah, I think it's Bluetooth connectivity from the Caldwell G2 chronograph. Shot 1, 741. Shot 2, 746. Shot 3, 749. $743. Capture all these? Yep, we are. $750. So we got a 9-foot spread right now. $746. I think this is the last one. $749. It does have a hold open for the bolt. I really like that. So let's go ahead and take a look at our numbers here. So we had a average of 746, standard deviation of 3.4, spread of 9, minimum of 741, maximum of 750. I'd say that's a pretty decent spread. I have seen some numbers from people doing tests with these with a lot tighter spreads, but for now, I think that's pretty good. So let's go ahead, we'll stop that and save it, and that'll be nice for looking at down the road. Stop our screen capture. All right, so now let's, so right now the trigger is kind of heavy on it. I haven't looked at it with the Lyman trigger gauge yet, but I'm guessing it's probably around a 4-pound trigger right out of the box. There are some adjustments that I've heard you can do with these. So let's do a 3-pull average, and we'll average it out. All right. Okay. Yeah, it's not as heavy as I was expecting. 3 pounds, 4.7 ounces. It's not a terrible trigger at all. It's definitely manageable, just a little heavy, but it breaks real nice. There's 4 pounds, 2 ounces. Let's do one more and get an average. Okay, 3 pounds, 8.9 ounces for a average of 3 pounds, 10 ounces. So not terrible, and we will definitely be playing around with that and taking a look at it. But so I do have I have this set up on top here. It's kind of audacious, but it actually is kind of cool. We've got a 3:9 by 32 scope on here with a lit reticle, which is pretty nice. And then we actually have a laser, and then a red dot on top. So and I have all of them zeroed pretty well, and we're going to test that out here in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and pause the camera, and I got to set my camera that I was using, or phone that I was using for the screen capture of the chronograph. I got to set that up so we can capture the targets, and we'll just see how it groups. It's only 7 yards across the garage here. We'll definitely get it out to the range and do some 25 and 30 yard groups with it too. I have seen people shooting it at pretty good ranges, and it is very accurate. So, but we'll just do a couple of test groups with it on the camera here and just verify that the laser and the red dot are all zeroed with the scope. So stand by. Alrighty, so I am back. I have some splatterburst targets set up downrange here. I really like to throw a shout out to Splatterburst for helping out with the channel, providing the targets for us to do these reviews. I actually contacted them. They're going to be sending me some more 8-inch targets and maybe some other new products to test out. I've been using their 8-inch targets mostly out at the range for. I like those 8-inch targets to set out at like 50 yards and 100 yards, so I don't have to go out there as much. And it has the center bullseye with 4 at 12, 3, 6, and 9 on the outside of the bullseye. So you got extra places to shoot at. So, well, let's go ahead and. So I really like this this scope. I was thinking about getting an LVPO for this, but Pinty actually contacted me and asked me to do a review on this kit for them. So it's pretty nice. It's a 3-power, which is a little bit too much for this range in here, but it actually focuses pretty well. But let's go ahead and shoot a couple shots through the scope first. And so I'm going to the upper left little dot there. Okay. Same hole. All right, let's turn the laser on, and I'll go to the little dot on the right hand side there. I actually zeroed these with a different pellet, and so the crossman perimeter hollow points are hitting a little bit higher. But there you go, same hole again. So now we'll turn the red dot off and go up to the, or turn the laser off and go up to the red dot. Now we'll go down to the lower left yeah, still hitting a little high there, but same hole again. This kit's pretty cool. You zero the sight first, and the scope first, and then you can actually then you can sight the laser by looking through the scope and getting the laser dot right in the center of the scope's view. Then you can leave the laser on, and you can adjust, and it works just perfect. You adjust, leave the laser on, and then adjust the red dot so that the red dot has the laser right in the center of its. So I've got the laser and the red dot on right now. And again, just I'm hitting at the top of that dot there. I didn't want to work too much to get this zeroed at this short range, but there you go. This is just such a cool setup. You can, if you felt like using a different buttstock, you could pull this off, and it's actually a metal buffer tube, so to speak, and you could take any one of the Magpul units that like Terry sells at Buckrail or any other AR buttstock and stick it on there. And it actually has a castle ring here, and you can take that piece off and swap it for other I'm sure AR pieces. So that's, you know, they made it that adjustable, and got this huge Picatinny rail for all kinds of different sights and optics and stuff. And then they made a fixed suppressor on there. Come on, you can do better than that, Umarex. Make that thing so we can take it off there and do what we want to do with the gun. But anyway, there you go. There is my initial assessment of the Umarex Notos. Overall, I really, really like it. Just a couple of little negative things that I'm not sure we'll be able to address anything with the suppressor, but I'm sure the trigger can be tweaked and made a little bit better. I've seen people doing that already online, and it's a pretty cool setup. But there you go. I hope you guys liked the video. Went a little bit long, but had a lot to do to cover all of the bases on this guy to start off with. Stay tuned for some more testing with this. We'll get it out and get it on a bench rest and do some 25, 30 yard shots with it, and I'm sure it'll do pretty good. The scope is really nice at this short range. It's not as clear, but once you get it out past 15, 20 yards, it is super clear, and you can dial it right up, the magnification right up on it. So anyway, till next time, have a great day.